back into it with the schedule. Greg Bedard sounding like a guy who's got his glass half full. He doesn't think the schedule is as daunting as maybe we've made it out to be.
Well, I mean, I find it ridiculous, the spreads. That we sit here and we can even put point spreads on a game that's 4 months off. I find 3 months off, excuse me. I find that ridiculous. I understand.
Wait, hold on. Pause. They got to take bets today on some of this stuff. Like, you got to set some lines.
I understand.
You can bet this stuff.
I understand it.
You got to do the show today.
I wouldn't touch it, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, fine.
There's just so much stuff that happens.
I understand why they do it.
But I do agree with the premise that let's watch a couple games and see what this defense is. Because I said it the other day. They got the bleep kicked out of them publicly because, big deal, guys. You beat teams with bad quarterbacks. You don't face bad quarterbacks this year. We looked at it. Will Levis, second-year guy, inexperienced. Maybe he gets a break there going down to Tennessee. But he's got 2 stud receivers. So who knows how that plays out? Can you take them out of the game? I don't know. Can you get to the quarterback? I don't know. Some of these guys are sitting ducks. They're not all running quarterbacks. So if you're able to tee off and get pressure, we'll see what happens. Your defense has the ability to keep you in games like they did a year ago. You were in every game. Record sucked. 4-13. But you were right there in some of those games. You just couldn't freaking move the ball. You couldn't protect the football. So I see what Greg is saying from that standpoint. Like, the defense is your strength. You got to play out from in front with your defense if that makes sense. You got to apply pressure, keep the game tight, keep yourself in striking distance, and be able to run the football. If you can't run the football, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. I just don't know if they're running that zone blocking scheme again because I don't know if the backs we have are zone running backs. I'm serious. Like, those Denver kids that ran it back in the day, those guys knew how to run that. Yeah, we tried to install this 2 years ago. It didn't work. Same backs. Ramondre's not like one of those stretch run backs. He's between the tackle hitter, man.
Patriots were top half of the league last year. They gave up just over 21 points a game, 21.5 points a game in the 2023 season. If they are doing that again against a tougher schedule, let's assume their defense got a little better and their competition got a little better. So they're in that same ballpark of giving up 3 touchdowns a game. How many games do you think the Patriots offensively will be scoring more than that? Scoring 24, 25 points a game.
I don't see that.
On a regular basis.
That's the problem.
That is my problem. It's why I don't think they're going to win a lot of games.
You're fighting a lot of averages there,
It's just you can have it's kind of like the Bruins. You can have the best goalie. You can keep the puck out of the net. You can limit your opposition in terms of what you're giving up to them.
Yeah.
If you can't score, it doesn't matter.
There aren't many defenses, comparing it to hockey here, and I know we're crossing sports. There aren't many defenses in the National Football League that go out and steal you games. Like, this isn't the Bears of '86. This isn't Baltimore, in their heyday with Ray Lewis. This isn't, guy we had on at the Super Bowl, Warren Sapp, when they won it with Tampa, that Tampa 2. That was a badass defense. There aren't many badass defenses left where you go out and do it. Kansas City was pretty freaking impressive. We love to talk about Kansas City and their tight end, their quarterback, all that stuff, their play calling and how they mix and match and the motion. Their defense won that Super Bowl. They did. That defense was great last year.
Well, their defense was
underrated,
top 5, and
I know
a lot of stats.
We kept saying that, but everybody talks Mahomes. So you're gonna have to play badass defense to win.
Baltimore's got a good defense.
Yeah.
Kansas City's got a good defense. Yeah. I'm just saying AFC teams. I wasn't even talking about the Patriots' schedule.
Buffalo's defense is down. I'm not sure what Cincy's is going to be. Pittsburgh's is always good. They're competitive.
Pittsburgh had a good defense last year.
Yep, and they added to it. Watt. You got a premier edge rusher like that, you could do a lot of things on defense. That's why it's imperative that it's got to pop it like Judon this year. And I know you said he may not be here, in September, with contracts and stuff, but he needs to be like the player we paid him to be.
Well, if you're going to win some of these games, too, you need a defense that has some big plays, right? Like some game change, like a couple scores are going to go a huge way for you, too, or at least flipping the field, turnovers, all that stuff. Because you didn't get a lot of that from last year's defense was good, but you didn't get a lot of those game-changing plays like you got with what the Boogeymen defense or whatever it was a few years before that.
I think this defense is certainly good enough to give you that, but you not be able to capitalize on it unless the defense is getting into the end zone.
Yeah.
Right.
So Over under on wins at 4.5. I think it's in the right place.
And it's hard because it gets ticky-tacky at the end of the year. You remember guys in the front seven talking about, we got to score on defense. We can't score on offense.
I'm not putting my money on it yet. It's too early for that. But over under 4.5. Would you go over or under if you had to do it today?
Over.
I'm going to go over, too.
They're going to find a way to get to 5 at least. They will.
I'm going to go under. And I went under last year, and that worked out.
Well, what was it last year? What was it last year?
I want to say it was 7.5.
Oh, it was up there,
7.5. Yeah. I do think it's a lot harder this year. But, again, I want to have a reason to believe in something.
Right.
That's why I say it's too early. I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah.
Because you might get to camp and see that some of the guys they drafted can be impact guys right away, and you'll feel differently about how many games they can win.
There's that part of the schedule. So Tennessee, Chicago, Indy, Arizona, and you got like Miami mixed in there with the Rams. But like that part of the schedule right there is kind of the make or break part of it, isn't it? You steal some of those games.
Or is that's the underbelly as we're calling it there?
Yes.
Underbelly.
That's the underbelly? You got to go for the wins against the Colts and Bears?
Yeah, like we don't know what Anthony Richardson really is, right? He's a physical freak.
I like Anthony Richardson.
He's going to be fun to watch.
Last year.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him call a game against him.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.